Welcome one, welcome all. I am Mark Paulda, a professional photographer. I have been in the photography business for well over 20 years. I want to help you succeed so you can earn money with your camera. With every episode, I will offer you sound advice so you can be part of the 15% of aspiring photographers who succeed. If you are looking for help to turn your passion for photography into a successful business, you have come to the right place. I have got the answers. My weekly episodes will help you understand how to market yourself, how to build a profitable business, and best business practices. No more feeling lost. You do not have to go it alone. Join my audio podcast and start taking my advice on turning your hobby into a profitable business. You will get access to a professional photographer and the best practices that I have learned and experienced over the years. If you have questions along the way, definitely email me. mark@markpaulda.com. You are also invited to join my photography success text community. Send me a text. 915-226-0959. If you are outside the United States, be sure to include +1, the United States country code. Let's get started. 7 signs you are becoming a photographer. Today, we want to have a little tongue-in-cheek look at ways that define you as a photographer. We all have to start somewhere, and as you reach each of the following points, you will be one step closer to being recognized by your friends and peers as a person that understands the art of photography. Depth of field. If you do not know depth of field, you do not know photography. Newcomers to photography rarely know their aperture from their shutter speeds, but discovering the magic of the aperture ring, or more often these days, dial, reveals an entire new world of out-of-focus backgrounds, and opens the doors to the nirvana of bokeh. Bokeh. In the days of film, bokeh was a word whispered by learned men in the corner of the camera club hall. Nobody dared ask them what it was, or what it meant. The internet has democratized the world of photography to the extent that bokeh has become a mainstream photographer's word. But what does it mean? In its simplest terms, it's a word that describes the quality of the out-of-focus part of an images. Hence, a lens with good bokeh will have a pleasing out-of-focus background. The temperature of light. Today we know it as white balance, but in the dim and distant past, it was the strange number written on the side of film boxes that determined whether your prints were going to look okay, or come out all blue. Measured on the mythical degrees Kelvin scale, it defines the color of the light source. A sunny day at midday is generally reckoned to be about 5,500 K, an overcast day can be up to 8,000 K or very blue, and a tungsten bulb around 3,200 K or very red. Or, of course, you can just shoot raw. Pixel peeping. This term for the digital age describes the act of analyzing your images at a pixel level to determine whether your images are sharp, have no chromatic aberration, color casts, or blown highlights. Pixel peepers most commonly frequent photography forums, where rather than discuss the atheistic qualities of an image, they belittle other people's proud efforts by loudly informing them that the new Canon D8000 has much greater pixel density, and would have given them a much better image than their current camera. Hand holding your camera. This is a classic sign of an up-and-coming photographer, when he or she no longer makes use of the camera's strap, opting, rather to hold the camera in the hand so as to be instantly ready for the next shot. Those amongst us with sweaty hands should think carefully, before adopting this stage. Manually focusing. Let's face it, most of us would be lost without autofocus. It is so good these days we barely have to think about it. However, it was not always like this. Before autofocus, most of us had to squint at focusing screens to see if the split circles were perfectly aligned. These days focusing screens are much better, and the split circles have gone, yet there is no better way to get the perfect sharp image than by switching off the autofocus and turning the front of your lens around. Buying a tripod. They are heavy and cumbersome, but if you really want to call yourself a photographer, you will need to own one. Of course, the other thing is actually knowing when to A. Take it with you, or B. Actually use it. Some people will carry a tripod all day every day, others will encumber themselves only when it is required. The classic error of the emerging photographer is to buy a cheap tripod, which, to use a Darwinian metaphor, would be like an elephant evolving giraffe's legs. Buy a good tripod, and it will probably long outlast your current camera, but be aware, even the latest lightweight carbon fiber tripod will gain a kilo for every hour you carry it. A genuine thank you for joining me today for this episode. If you are serious about success in the photography business, then I am serious and ready to help. Visit markpaulda.mentor.com and discover a variety of ways I can help you in your journey. If you have questions along the way, definitely email me. mark@markpaulda.com. You are also invited to join my photography success text community. Send me a text 915-226-0959. If you are outside the United States, be sure to include +1, the United States country code. I will catch you in the next episode.